All right, so our next lesson is the dual hose fitting. And so our first thing we're going to do is click on Access Document and make a copy of this guy. All right, and then from there, as that's copying, we're going to kind of click on this image to get started. And so it says make sure our workspace units are set to millimeters, degrees, grams with 2 decimal precision. So we'll go ahead and do that. So go to our workspace units, and they are in millimeters, degrees, and grams, but right now they're in 3 decimal precision. So we'll change those over to 2. And then our next step is to create a drawing from the part using standard ANSI millimeters B, right? So this is B size paper. So it's a little bit different. A size paper, remember, is like what we would find on printer paper, 8.5 inches by 11. But each different letter is doing different size papers. So we're just going to go ahead and click on ANSI, and it should be one of the templates, ANSI B millimeter paper. So this is just going to be a little bit of a different size paper, a little bit of a bigger size paper. So B size paper is 11 inches by 17 inches, not 8.5 by 11. So it's just a little bit of a longer paper. And so we're going to go ahead and make this document that we have. And so we can see that they gave us different, they said create a drawing and insert a front view as the base view with a 1:2 scale and place it on the left side of the drawing. Make sure that to hide our hidden lines, so they don't want our hidden lines. And they say to make sure that the front view has 4 center marks as shown in the drawing views. So they want us to kind of take this A and turn it into this with the 4 center marks as well as these center lines, right? And so they want, instead of it looking like this, to look like that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on part 1, and they said to put that one on the left side of our drawing. So we'll click on part 1. And they did say that they want it to be a 1:2 scale. So we just want to double check that. Mine is defaulting to 1:2, but if yours is something different, make sure you change yours over to 1:2. I'm going to put this somewhere on the left. This is my front view, so probably somewhere over here. And they asked us to put in the center marks. So I'm going to just hit escape out of the projecting view, click on center mark, and just kind of zoom in here and click on these circles. And it really doesn't matter which circle you click on because they're all concentric, but I clicked on the inside one. And then we also wanted these center lines. So I'm going to click 2-point center line. We're going to go ahead and click on the top of this circle down to the bottom of that circle. And same thing on the right side of that circle over to the left side of that circle. And you should be passing right through the center. So now we have our center marks and our center lines in there. We'll go back to our instructions, and they say add a top, right, and isometric view with the same scale as the base view, that 1:2 scale. Place the top and right views near the base view and place the isometric view in the upper right-hand corner. So we'll go back here. I'm just going to zoom out, and I'm going to hit escape to get out of my center line. Sometimes you have to click it a couple times. And then over here, the first one is insert view. We already did that. The second one is projected view. So I'm going to click on projected view. I'm going to click on my view, go over to the right for my right view, click on my view again, go up for my top view, and click on my front view again and go up into the corner for our shaded view, or our isometric view. I think I got that right. Here. All right, and so these views should be unshaded. I'm going to hit escape, right click my isometric view, and this one should be shaded. So again, in class, I know I've told you guys to always put in the hidden lines, but they specifically told us not to put in hidden lines. Next, our instructions say, once we have that done, to create a section view of the base view with the section going down the view center, leaving the other settings at their default, and place it to the right of view B. All right, so kind of looking at this, this section view will be looking like this one, this F. That's a section view with these kind of hashed lines. Right, remember the hash lines are showing where there is material, whereas the solid lines would be kind of showing more like a cut and empty space. So it does say to the right of the right view, sorry, the right of the right view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first kind of take my right view and let's just move it over a little bit. So because I know I want my section view to be coming over to the right of that. And for some reason I have 2 of these in here, so I'm going to delete one. I don't know how I got 2 of them in, but I just want to move that one over here. So I'm going to go to section view. And it says that they wanted the section view with the section line going down the front view center. So I'm going to go to the top of the front view and going down its center, click on the bottom of it, and I want this to be placed to the right of the right view. So I'm going to come out here somewhere and place this in over to the right of the right view. This is going to be my section A view. All right, and then next, the instructions tell me to create a detail view of one of the lower tabs on the base, the front view, with a scale of 1 to 1, leaving the other settings at their defaults, and place this beneath the base view. So it says make sure that the detail view whole has a center mark. So this is, section A. This is our detail view. They want it about here, right? That's going to be our, section view is number A or letter A, and our detail view is going to be letter B. So next we're going to go back here and click on detail view. And I like to kind of zoom in, if sometimes that helps me. And so for my detail view, right, this one is a little bit tricky before you've done it. But you see it's just a point right now. And this is saying where's the center of your zooming in. So I want the center of my zooming in to probably be the center of that circle. And then I'm just going to kind of go out. And if I look at their picture, it went out to about here. So I'm just going to click right there. And then they said to place this below. So I'll place this below. All right, and there's my detail B. Now see how right now I'm going to hit escape. See how this text is kind of over the line? I'm just going to drag this up a little bit to give me some more space, and then drag this guy up a little bit, just because I do not want any text crossing over any of my borders. So this is exactly how I want it. But then they said that to make sure that our detail view has a center mark, right? Well, my detail view right now does not have a center mark, so I'm going to have to click on center mark and give it a center mark, and now it does. Okay, next they asked us to add the text annotation in the image provided to the lower right-hand corner of the drawing sheet using a 3.048 Noto Sans note font. Okay, so I read that and it kind of took me a minute to realize, but it has this D, so that the text note that they're saying is this D, right? Note all chamfers are 2.5 millimeters unless otherwise specified. They say to place this in the lower right-hand corner of the drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and make a note. That's this letter A1, right? And they said in the lower right-hand corner, I'm going to put it here and then we can move it. So we want the Noto Sans note font 3.048. That's actually the default, so we don't have to change anything. Hit caps lock because we want to be on caps lock when we're making notes. We're going to put note, colon, all chamfers 2.5 millimeters unless otherwise specified. And you'll notice that this is kind of just very short and very wide here. Don't worry about it. Just hit the check mark. And then we can go ahead and hit escape. It's trying to make another note. Hit escape. And now I can click on the note and I can just drag that edge to make it so it's just all one line. They wanted this in the lower right-hand corner. I'm going to kind of place it right about here in that lower right-hand corner. And then finally, they tell us to add the necessary dimensions to the section and the detail views, and to create the diameter annotation on the detail view using a whole callout. So that's from E, F, and G. So I'm going to just kind of look at my other views and see what diameters or what dimensions they gave us. So they gave us this 10, width of 10, and angle of 45. So I'll put those in first. And those are on my right view, right? Not on the section view. I'm going to go back here and go to my my dimensioning tool. Give us that 10. And then they also gave us for dimensioning this angle. So I'm going to click on this line, and then I'm going to click on, kind of if I zoom in, I clicked on this first line. Now I'm going to click on this angled line, and we're going to put in that 45. So I'm kind of just zooming out just so I could get it to look right. It kind of looked like that. So I'll put in that 45. All right, next up is they gave us 52.35 and a diameter of 35 for our section view. So I'm going to go back in there. And so this distance here they wanted to be 52.35. And then right here, escape dimension, want that part to be 35. Now notice how right now I'm going to be on top of that section A. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape, just grab this text and just move it down a little bit to give myself some room. And then I'm going to hit dimension again, and I want this to be 35, but they had a diameter in their picture. Right, if I kind of go back here, right, they have that diameter button. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit escape, and double click on that 35. And I want to just add in the diameter symbol. Okay, and then we can just go ahead and hit escape, and now it's there. And I want to make sure that's centered. Mine wasn't centered. So now I have it centered. Okay, and so that's what the next one is supposed to look like. And then finally, we have our detail view. And so they have this diameter of 20, and then the 3 by diameter of 10 all the way through. And I can do this with the whole call out. So, for the 20, we know how to do that just with the dimensioning tool. So 20 was these outside edges, from outside to outside was 20. And then instead of using my dimensioning one, I'm going to do the whole call out tool, right, which is this guy here. So I'm going to click on that guy, and then I'll click on the hole. I'm going to kind of come out here, and it gives me a diameter of 10 through, but I want to add that 3 by, right, because there are 3 different holes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape, double click on it, and just right in front of it, I'm going to do 3 by with a capital X. Capital X, and then I'm going to put a space, so it's 3 by there, and I'll hit escape, and that's what that guy looks like. Right, and so then from there, that was kind of our last view that we needed. And so this is all that they asked us to do, was to add these 2 dimensions here, 2 dimensions here, and these 2 dimensions here. So kind of coming back, your final drawing should look like this. Now, we don't actually have every single dimension needed, right? In real life, if you were going to give this to a manufacturer, there are a lot more dimensions that go into making this part. But these are the ones that we were asked to do in SolidProfessor. So this is a finished product. Just make sure that you have all of these, and then you can submit that to the assignment.